Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Beaky here with the UntitledGameShow.com. Back once again with another video for you guys today. And I'm back continuing my series for Win It Wednesday. What you guys will be watching in this video is me going over all the awesome comments I received from my Pokemon Win It Wednesday for the 6 IV Shiny Dark Pokemons, including Shiny Greninja, Darkrai, and lot more. I asked everybody to go ahead and tell me what their vision of a Pokemon MMO would be, and I'm going to be going over all those awesome comments that I received because the Untitled Game Show is the everyday gamer's point of view, as you guys know. This will be extremely long video, guys. At the end of the video, I will be announcing the winner of Win It Wednesday and who actually is going to be getting all six shiny IV Pokemons. Please stick with me, or at least you may be able to just skip to the end of the video to find out who the winner was. But there are some awesome comments here because I've already read through all the comments. Now, before I go over these awesome comments right here, guys, there are 104 comments. But I want to tell you guys something right away. I really hope you guys appreciate what I do on this channel, guys. For somebody who's really not making money over this stuff, I really do put in a lot of work. It's kind of crazy. Because I'm going to show you something right now, guys. This is the second time I'm actually making this video. This video would have already been up exactly where I initially wanted to make it. As you guys can see, the title was Win It Wednesday. The initial video that I recorded already was an hour and 14 minutes and about 15 seconds long. All right, so you could just say an hour and 15 minutes long. But guess what, guys? I cannot upload that video to YouTube, and that's why that video is not already up on the channel. That video, for some freaking reason, my dumb mic, which I need to get replaced, which is why I need you guys to support, just didn't record my audio. So I had to go ahead and switch mics and get to a better mic so I actually could record. So yeah, I recorded an hour and a 15-minute video with absolutely no freaking audio, and there was no way I could tell that my audio wasn't working correctly during that video because I saw the bars moving, so I thought it was recording my audio, but it just wasn't recorded. But anyways, guys, I am back, and I'm going to do this video again. This time, it's not going to be an hour and 15 minutes long, hopefully, because I'm going to be able to go through it a lot faster because I already went through the stuff again. But let's get right into it, and I hope you guys appreciate the work I do for the Untitled Game Show and I'm going over this Pokemon stuff because, let me tell you guys, everybody else that does Pokemon contests, I very rarely doubt that every one of them read every comment like I do. So let's go over some of these awesome comments you guys had on Win It Wednesday. There really were some awesome comments. We're going to go to all 104 comments. This was a really good video right here for comments, guys. I'm getting less and less views on my Win It Wednesday series, but I am getting greater and greater comments. So I notice now who's actually participating each week. So let's find out what you guys think of a Pokemon MMO right here with the first person right here, Michael. So Mike, I'm just going to call you Mike. Let's get into your comment right here. Bam. Let's start off what he had to say before he gets to Frank.
I love Greninja and have been dying to get a shiny one, especially a 6 Roman 4 one that would be good for competitive play later on. I wouldn't mind getting that Evolved either, because it is really nice, so many good choices. I liked and subscribed, and here is my...
Alright, see, this is the second time making a video, so I kind of forgot. Guys, I'm going to be using a speech engine to actually read the comments out aloud. The reason for this, guys, I think it's going to be a little nicer to hear it in somebody else's voice than my own voice because I speak very fast. If you guys watch my video, as you can tell, I speak very fast, and sometimes I might mix up that when I'm actually reading somebody else's handwriting because I like to read in my head. I usually don't like to read aloud too much. So let's go over what he had to say about his thoughts on a Pokemon MMO. Mike, get to it.
Thank you for the opportunity to win some amazing Pokemon.
You're welcome.
3DS name is also Mike. And if I were gonna make a Pokemon MMO, I would make it very similar to how the games are already, just adding in an actual MMO style platform. Because I feel like the Pokemon games already have a lot of base MMO ideas, just not the whole multiplayer aspect that an MMO offers. Of course you would also have to add in more interactable things like the ability to sell things to other players, like items, and of course have a battle stadium to go to for PvP aspect of it. And heck, add in the ability to tackle tough battles in groups for a more diverse co-op type experience. Just my thoughts on a Pokemon MMO. Lad.
Mike, those are excellent thoughts, and congratulations on being the first commenter as well. I do actually like that you actually took the time to write all this out. I know when you first watched the video, you didn't actually follow the rules, but you came back and did a good job and actually followed the rules and left your comments. So let's go over your comment right now. Like I said, guys, this is your personal opinions. That's what I'm going to be going over. I'm going to share my own opinions on these Pokemon MMOs and my own personal thoughts on what I think about your guys' opinions on what would need to be done with a Pokemon MMO. Now, there's a few things I think you missed out right here, Mike. If you're going to keep the Pokemon games basically the same and just basically turn it into a basically MMO style, I don't think a Pokemon MMO is going to specifically work 100% on the 3DS. So that's what I'm guessing you're going to keep it at. It's going to be a 3DS game. You didn't really specify platform. I think platforms and pricing and how that would actually work if you had the power to make a Pokemon 3DS game. I mean, how would you actually go about doing it? I know just adding more online features would be a great thing, but come on, a little bit more details and that would have been great. But I like your idea overall about the co-op, the arenas and stuff like that, but let's get on to the next comment. And once again, guys, sorry if I feel like I'm rushing through your comments. It's not that, guys. Remember, this is the second time I've recorded this video over a 2-day period. So I have read all the comments before, and I already had my opinions on your last video. It just didn't record. Let's get to the next dude right here.
Okay, thought about this a lot, and I would make a home console game, and I would make it like Battle Revolution, but I make it so the Pokemon can run around the arena go, and from ground battles to air battles mid-game, and the battlefield would always change depending on your battle strategy just like in the TV show, and I would make the battle system work by voice command so you could create unique ways use moves and attacks and use multiple moves at once, and of course it would be free roam like the 3DS game, and I would keep the customization they have for X and Y, but I would make it so you could give your Pokemon stuff to wear to make them original to match their personality or mood, and I would give each Pokemon 6 moves each, because it makes the battles more fun.
Alright, great comment, man. Only thing I just did there, guys, what you just saw, I just switched over to the newest comment first. I gotta say, you're the first person, when the last time I recorded this, I said this as well. You said one of the awesomest things I never thought of specifically myself for a Pokemon MMO or in general a Pokemon game, having voice commands. The ability to actually be able to say, Pikachu, use Thunderbolt, Pikachu, use Tackle, would be an excellent addition, not only to the Pokemon games on MMO, but a 3DS Pokemon game or Pokemon Stadium game would definitely help out to be able to use voice command. This was done back in the N64 days using a mic to be able to command Pikachu. So I'm pretty sure they could actually add that feature into a Pokemon game for the 3DS, the Wii U, PC, or consoles, or whatever platforms it does come on. I did really like your idea, man. You definitely were a contestant to be the winner, but we're going to go ahead and go throughout some of the other winners. So let's go ahead to the next comment, which is I love Miss.
An MMO for the Pokemon games would be kind of difficult to make without completely changing the dynamics and graphics of the game. Though, I think a game style similar to Skyrim, a huge, dynamic open world I think would work well. Here's the pitch. Design your character like a Pokemon master before starting, but you get to choose types of trainers. For example, a Dragon Master would allow Dragon Pokemon to gain attack boosts in battle. Same would work for the various types of Pokemon. For the world design, I'd say a remodeled 3D world with real-world graphics, but tweak the Pokemon so they don't lose the Nintendo feel. The storyline I think can follow a similar one to the anime. In terms of battle, I think it'd be fun to have a Pokemon Ranger type of battle, where the Pokemon moves around and attacks stroke defends stroke dodges. The way I see this working as a third-person point of view, and as you encounter a wild Pokemon or a challenger, you summon your Pokemon and battle mode starts. From here, you battle like you normally would, except that the Pokemon in battle have added effect, like if it has a higher speed, the Pokemon may dodge an attack, unlike the normal Pokemon games where it's greatly based on accuracy. The real appeal of the game would be to freely move from town to town, see stroke attack stroke capture Pokemon dipping in the wild, not just by running around the grass. I can already see some awesome scenery with Ho-Oh flying in the distance. Haha.
Alright, love your idea. Ho-Ho flying in the distance. That would be awesome, just having the Pokemon be available in the wild as well. And actually see the Pokemons in the wild rather than they be in, that you have to walk in the tall grass to actually interact with Pokemon. That would kind of be insane, just like seeing thousands of Pokemon. So I don't think the concept of actually... certain Final Fantasy games have done this, and certain Tales games where you actually see the monsters walking around and you actually have to like walk into the monsters to battle them. For some reason I still feel like the tall grass situation is still a good way to do Pokemon games, and I don't know if I really want to move away from that. I think that's pretty much a core element to the Pokemon franchises, walking in the grass to find Pokemon. kind of leaves a mystery until you see what Pokemon pops up. If you see what Pokemon you can capture, if you could avoid walking into a Rattata to catch that Pikachu that you really want, well, of course everybody's going to be avoiding the rat and just go for the Pikachu, which is technically a rat as well. But all the items you had were really excellent. You wanted to go with a whole Skyrim huge open environment. That's actually perfectly fine with me. Character creation, you're the first person to mention that. Character, being able to have your character look the way you want is a great idea as well. The Dragon Master is the thing I really couldn't agree with you on, man. I think this is a cool idea specifically if it were talking about a GM, which would be in my personal game for a Pokemon MMO, would be the gym leaders. A Dragon Master would be an awesome thing if you went to a Dragon Gym and you know that that person was going to get a Dragon boost and Dragon type attacks because he was a Dragon type gym. But if everybody who you got to play online or even in the game also get a boost for using a specific type of Pokemon because they are that type of trainer, and most likely if they're a Dragon Master, they're going to be using a Dragon type Pokemon. Well, then and if they wear clothes, if there's some way of giving the hint off that they are a Dragon Master, well, it kind of would actually make it a little simple for a person to really have their team base set up on. Because if you know they're going to be using dragons mostly, well, then you're just going to probably use fairy or ice type Pokemon to really take them out. So it could be played against typing really differently. And adding a mechanic like Dragon Master, let's say if it was going to give everybody a 20% boost in attack, a 10% boost in attack, or whatever it might be, a boost in attack, I think that would actually change up the way that Pokemon plays, specifically for damage and accuracy and everything like that. And I just think that I still, guys, I'm just saying it for myself. Personally, I still prefer the turn-based style that Pokemon is, that you can play it on a slower pace. You don't have to always be engaged and focused exactly 100% inside the matches. A fully 3D, I do like your idea. You did mention, though, actually removing the whole accuracy and the evasion thing and just moving into a dodge based on speed and stuff like that. I would like to actually add up more dodging and dodge instead of accuracy. That would be kind of a cool thing to see implement into the game. But I said a lot more about your comment last time I talked about it, dude. So sorry if I missed everything this time, but you didn't even hear it the first time. We have Matilda A over here, which is an awesome commenter, commenting a lot. We're going to get to her comment later on as well. Pokemon Legends, awesome commenter as well. We're going to get to your stuff as well. We're going from first comment to later comment going forward. All right, guys, so let's get to the next commenter right here, bro.
Silently freezing.
All right, Silently Freezing, what did you have to say about a Pokemon MMO?
Obviously there would need to be an open world map, or at least majorly open, with the ability to roam freely in a 3D world. I don't think it needs to have realistic graphics, but it should definitely be a step up from XY standards. Yes, I want this on the 3DS, because who actually has a Wii U? I know this is possible after seeing the Greninja SSB model, which is much cleaner and darker than XY's pastel colors. Much more customization for trainers, like age or size. I'd like to be represented by an avatar that is more my age group, not a 10-year-old. Maybe they could implement some way to allow friends to travel with you, but limit it to 4 or 5 close ones. We don't want a million people running around your game. Oh, let's not forget multiple stroke all regions.
Alright, awesome commenter again. What I have to say about yours is the idea of having it be a 3DS game is really unique right here, guys. I just do not think the 3DS would have the power that I personally want from a Pokemon MMO and to be an MMO game, because I would love to see how many people they could fit on the servers for the game. If it's going to be a game where it's streamed to the 3DS, yes, that's going to work. I also do think that the game should be on 3DS. Now, here's where it gets a little catchy. I want this game on basically every platform. I want there to be some type of mini game or type thing you could do for the game on 3DS and get it imported into your full game of on the PC, Wii U, Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One. I want this game basically on everything, but I do want it to be a higher end game for the PC, which I'm gonna get into later on for a later on basically comments. But the way you get those on Xbox 360, you get it on the PS3 or lower generation platform, is basically doing a basically on live type of system and or PlayStation Now type of system. I'm a big supporter of those platforms because I've used on live and I know it works, guys. For a fact, I know it works, and it would work fine for something like Pokemon, which would be a turn-based game, even at a higher resolution. Because I played Mafia 2 the whole entire game. I played through the whole entire game of Homefront and a bunch of other games on live, and some of those are first-person shooters, third-person shooters, and they work perfectly fine. So I definitely know that streaming technology in 2014 to 2015 for a game like this would be just fine coming out, making it be able to stream to something like the 3DS or anything other platform. Like I said, maybe in the 3DS it would have actually a downside version of the game that you would be able to just play on the go and then import that information into the full game on the PC or the Wii U. Now, the thing about it though, guys, the fact of the matter is a Pokemon game on the 3DS as a full standalone MMO using the Super Smash Brothers models, like what you were saying with the Greninja, is an awesome idea. I have no problem with that altogether. I actually do agree that the graphic style should continue with the more or less the Pokemon style in general, where it is more or less the 3DS style graphics, just high res and bumped up to look really good, 1080p at 60 frames per second or 30 frames per second would be a really nice look for the game, guys. But I do want to be very accessible on different platforms, even be able to stream to Android phones if that's possible with some type of touch interface, because the Pokemon games so far have been able to play in a touch interface, and I do actually think the perspective of the game should stay similar, just me personally, guys, similar to the top-down kind of view you see in the Pokemon currently. I know if you, it's not really top-down, let me say it like this. Right now, in the 3DS game right now, X and Y, it kind of changes perspective a lot depending on which way you're facing. So I guess they would need to figure out which way, how they would do the angles for every scene. That's really easy to do in a single player game, but with an MMO, you're gonna maybe want the camera to be able to full view, 360 view. So that part I haven't really thought out yet. But let's continue with everybody else's comment instead of continue with my thoughts and dreams for Pokemon MMO, because I could go on for a long time, which I did in the last video, but that kind of got erased.
Let me start off by saying that if I had a Pokemon MMO, I would make all the regions on one game and increase the chances of getting a shiny Pokemon.
Alright, increase the chances of getting a shiny Pokemon. 100% agree with this idea, ladies and gentlemen. You're the first person to actually say that this week, man. And Paco, I have to agree with that. That is a interesting concept. I overall think, and I agree with him 100%, that the rate of getting a shiny Pokemon in Pokemon X and Y and all the Pokemon games in the past are too high. I know that if you increase the rates and getting shiny Pokemons would be easier, that would make the game and shiny Pokemon's a lot rarer and not as significant anymore. But guess what? I don't think shiny Pokemon should be that significant. They're just another color change for a Pokemon. But here is the thing. Here is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I know friends like Gem. Gem never got his first shiny Pokemon till later on in the Pokemon franchise. That really sucks, you know. Some people play Pokemon games for years and then get their first shiny to Black and White or X and Y. And they've been played every single Pokemon games up to the current Pokemon games. So I would think that the shiny rate can increase to something a little better for an MMO. It's not that everybody's going to be running around with a shiny. And even if everybody's running around shiny, so what? It's a way, we all know, if you're hardcore into battling Pokemon, we all know it's about the moves you use on your Pokemon. It's all about the move sets, it's all about the abilities, all about the IVs. Nobody's saying Pokemon will be alike. As we know from Pokemon itself, all Pokemons are not alike, even if they're the same exact type, same exact gender, same exact abilities. They are just a little bit different. So even if they're shiny and they look alike, having a shiny Pokemon, having two shiny Greninjas doesn't mean that those two shiny Greninjas are going to have the same attacks, because Greninja has protein and protein's an awesome attack. Let's continue with our overview of some of these Pokemons. Okay, you guys are trading in the chat. Can somebody give me a Japanese dinner? I got a Japanese dinner. What are you willing to trade for it? Go ahead, guys. Trade up, trade up, trade up, trade up. Please do that. This guy said, enter me. Well, if you read the rules and took the time to watch the video, I would have entered you. Sorry, bro. All right, next up right here for the Pokemon MMO. What did you have to say?
I would definitely create a massive world like Ragnarok Online, but unique in its own. The world would have all regions and all Pokemons obtainable. There would be a quest in obtaining legendaries, and one will be able to challenge an online player via PvP system. There would be an arena for Pokemon World tournaments too. Gamers will be able to interact and have friends in their journey too. Gym leaders will be the GMs. This free MMO Pokemon game would definitely have a feeling of nostalgia.
Alright, just want to say shout out to TY Dragosa. He just left a comment on my Sakura Miku cosplay video. So shout out to you. Just check that live. Alright, moving on up. I think your idea of the Ragnarok Online open world, massive world is a good idea. It seems like everybody so far has liked the idea of having a massive world. Gym leaders will be, games will be able to interact with their friends, and then the journey to gym leaders will be GMs. Gym leaders being GMs are kind of a cool idea. Just the way I would implement gym leaders are probably a little different than you, and I'll get into that later on. Like I said before, I could go into crazy details about what I specifically want, but I'm going to go into that at the end of the video in more detail. This will be a free MMO, and you are the first person, congratulations, to mention price, which is going to be a factor later on when picking a winner, because I think pricing is a very interesting thing to mention with a Pokemon MMO. yes, you have an unlimited budget to make this game, but you still gotta think about it as a sense of a business person. How are you gonna make your money? Is this gonna be a full retail $60 game, and you're gonna charge $15 a month after that, or is it gonna be a $60 game that's free to play after that? It's gonna be a free to play game. Is it gonna be microtransactions, or you gonna be downloading hats, costumes? What would you actually do, guys? Think about that stuff when you write in these comments. There's gonna be some awesome comments later on. It's really funny that I'm gonna tell you guys now. Some of the other comments you guys are gonna read about like maybe 20 minutes from now are gonna be great. Like you guys left some really detailed stuff. I'm telling you, guys are awesome. Just saying, you commenters are awesome. Let's move on. All right, Razan Ali, you are actually one of my last winners of Win It Wednesday, so shout out to you again. And he left a new comment this week as well.
A Pokemon MMO should be very high in graphic quality. It should let you battle trainers. If you accept the battle rigs, it should also have an auto leaderboard, which will go up depending. If you win a lot, there should also be tournament. The battle style against Pokemon should be like Pokemon Ranger. That is all I can think of. THX.
All right, Pokemon Ranger battle style. I respect that. Like I said, maybe not for me personally, but that's not the reason you didn't win. There was just more other comments that were really good. But shout out to you once again, Horizon Ale. Moving on up. Right here. I would like to enter Beaky. Why didn't you enter, man? I see your comments all the time. I love water Pokemon and general. Hey, top favorite? Yes, that's a cool comment right there by itself. Let's see what you had to say right here as your comment. You're one of the greater comments I saw today too. I remember his comment. It's pretty good. Let's listen.
Okay, thought about this a lot, and I would make a home console game, and I would make it like Battle Revolution, but I make it so the Pokemon can run around the arena go, and from ground battles to air battles mid-game, and the battlefield would always change depending on your battle strategy just like in the TV show, and I would make the battle system work by voice command so you could create unique ways use moves and attacks and use multiple moves at once, and of course it would be free roam like the 3DS game, and I would keep the customization they have for X and Y, but I would make it so you could give your Pokemon stuff to wear to make them original to match their personality or mood, and I would give each Pokemon 6 moves each, because it makes the battles more fun.
All right, first thing that you said that I absolutely agree, and I was going to implement if I had the money to make my own Pokemon MMO. The 6 moves, or even more. I think it's really retarded even now, guys, that Pokemons could only use 4 moves in a battle. Think about all the moves a Pikachu can use in the show. Irondale, Thunder, Quick Attack. It goes on and on and on. Pokemons have a whoa, can't speak. Wide variety of attacks available to them in their movesets. And it should be allowed in Pokemon games in general, not just a Pokemon MMO, to have access to those moves in battle. And I definitely do agree with you. If he has to start off with 6, fine. If not to make everything too complicated, I think those moves should be accessible to players while they're in an MMO. On your idea of being able to dress up your Pokemons, I'm a personal person. I don't like animals getting dressed up. I'm like, even in real life, I don't think a dog should have to wear a tutu or anything like that. So that's just me. So I'm not sure if I'm a big fan for that. I would be dressing up my Pokemons. But overall, I did think your idea was great, man. I talked about it a lot more, and you said you're the same one who talked about the voice commands before. I'm just basically going over your stuff again that I forgot to mention last time. But next up.
This is what I would do. It would start out as any other Pokemon game, and then when it asks your gender, you can make your own avatar, custom name, and everything. Then you choose what region you are from, Kalos, Kanto, Sinnoh, etc. And depending on the region is what the starter choices are. Then you can go around all regions and meet people, fight trainers that are playing also, and catch them all! And to battle another player, all you gotta do is talk to them and ask if they wanna trade or battle or be friends. I would love this game.
You're right. Come on, for Game Freak. I love your idea. You're another one of those people who seem like your idea was really fleshed out. You didn't really talk about the game mechanics too much or pricing and stuff like that or what platforms. That's fine, but your idea was concise. You believed in your own idea. You wanted everybody to start out and choose their region. You wanted to be able to pick your avatar and have it be a chance to pick your gender, then customize your avatar, which I already agree with, guys. I already said that before. Only thing I'm going to say from my personal MMO from Pokemon, goes against almost everybody else's comments. Everybody seems to want to be able to go to the old regions. If you want to go to Sinnoh, Kalos, Kanto, all those regions, everybody wants to relive their opportunity and fight some of the same gym leaders, same people, and meet some of the people from the show. I might be the only person who thinks like this. I want completely new regions. I want new massive cities, regions that haven't been seen in the Pokemon universe before. I want that. That's how I want the Pokemon MMO to come to us. I want the Pokemon MMO to be its own thing outside of what we already seen on the 3DS. We don't need to relive the stuff that we already done in the Pokemon in the past, guys. Think about all the time we've played these regions before. All the times we've catched the same Pokemons, which is fine. Catching the same Pokemons are right. That's cool. That's part of the game. But my whole point is, if you're going to start out in Pallet Town or whatever town it might be, you already have a great ideas of what Pokemon you're going to see. And because you have already, if you're going to want it to be the same way it was on the 3DS and you're not going to get that experience, you might be a little disappointed. But if you started a whole new adventure, a whole new region, whole new starting Pokemons, whole new starting types even, why does it need to be fire, grass, water? It could be dark, it could be anything. Why not start out a whole new way like that? And that's how kind of how I want my own personal Pokemon MMO to make, and that's how I kind of would do it. Brand new regions. But while I say that, guys, I would add this. I would have it to be special events or like, oh, come visit the Kanto region this time of year. Like, bam, here, take a plane. It could be like that's a special event in the game, or, that could be a DLC or something else that'll be added onto the game depending on the way the microtransfer and stuff will work like that in the game as well. But I'll talk about that stuff later, money, pricing, and how additional content can work in the DLC. But like I said, new regions, new areas to go to, massive world once again, guys. But in a sense, the other areas from the old games could be add-ons after the fact or after you maybe beat the main campaign in the MMO. Alright, let's continue. Of course, there's going to be a new team too to give you guys problems.
I forgot my FC, so here we go. It would start out as any other Pokemon game. Then when you get to the gender and name screen, you can make your own avatar.
I already read your comment before, bro. Sorry to know what you said again. Let's go, the moon.
Pokemon MMO is what everyone wants most. The game would be in 3D and have gym battles, missions, PvP, of course, a ranking system, and a whole lot of fun. There would be battle request, but no spam, wild Pokemon everywhere, different regions to start in, and legendary or rare Pokemon events. The battle style will still be the same, but with a bit more action like in the animes. Nintendo and Game Freak should have a Kickstarter to get the profit everyone wants.
Alright guys, let me tell you about what I think about this idea real quick. Right now I'm just going to play the next idea because Jem from the Gamer's Edge Repair YouTube channel is calling me. You guys all know Jem, so just give me 1 second, alright? So listen to this, to Chilla Monkey, and I'm going to be going over his idea in 1 second.
First off, I would bring Pokemon to Android phones and PCs. I think the graphics should stay the same. And in this game, the Pokemon can walk with you all the time just like in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Also, for the first time ever, Mew would be obtainable without an event or hack. After the walking thing, if the Pokemon is too big, the Pokemon will be switched with the next Pokemon in the trainer's party and keep doing so until there is a Pokemon that can fit through the entrance or in a building. If all your Pokemon are too big, they will wait outside the building. You'll be able to walk multiple Pokemon and even ride them and communicate with them. Zygarde will be obtainable like in XY in the same place with the same level, but if the bond between all of your Pokemon are strong, you will be able to catch both regular and Shiny Zygarde. Shiny Zygarde will be in the Z cave in the region, Yin. You will still be able to go to the Kalos region and even to the Unova region and back after completing the Pokédex for the Yin and Kalos region. More Pokemon will get a Mega Evolution. Raichu, Rapidash, Lopunny, Azumarill, Watchog, and Clefable will get one. The starters are also different. Instead of the frequent grass, fire, and water types, it will electric, ice, and psycho types. And finally, I would incorporate my Fakemon for the new Pokédex. The name of the games would be Pokemon Yin and Pokemon Yang, not to be confused with Pokemon Black and White.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over this comment right here. So that was a call from Killer Snake and Gem, so shout out to them real quick. Alright, so let's go over yours first of all. The Pokemon MMO is what everybody wants most. I do agree with that, man. I think a lot of people do want the Pokemon game to turn into an MMO. I just think Nintendo doesn't really have a presence on PC, which is what they would need to put the console out on, the game out on first, so I'm not sure about that. Another thing I wouldn't want from Nintendo, if I was in control of them, I would not need them to make the game a gamepad specific. the biggest problem I could think about doing with a Pokemon MMO, this is overall for my own idea, I do not want them to think like, oh, this game needs to be made for this specific platform, the Xbox, the PS3, the PC, the Wii U, the 3DS. It does not need to be a hardware. It should be a general game that can work on many different platforms. Reason for that, after the Wii U is dead, after the 3DS is dead, after Xbox One, or after whatever, the PC is still going to be there. So that game needs to be able to last for at least 5+ years. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. I'm trying to get in the world territory that this is a game that starts off with a high enough graphic resolution, high enough content, has enough content on it that it can last for a few years of gameplay, while at the same time still normal Pokemon games still get released for the 3DS every single year that people get excited to play as well. So the MMO will be its own thing, and then these games, the 3DS games and the Stadium games and every other games could be its own thing as well. It just kind of all live in the same universe. Alright, what else did you say? The battle style will still be the same, but with a bit more action like the animals. Yes, I actually do think I want to keep the battle lifestyle the same. I do want more animation in the battles. If you guys ever played something like the Golden Suns or some of the other 3DS games where they have like summons and stuff like that, and the summons do awesome stuff, I do think they could increase the amount of animations that Pokemons have for certain moves. I mean, Hydro Pump and some of the Pokemon, it could look different per Pokemon. Let me say it like this: it shouldn't be the generic thing, water gun thing for the same Pokemon. Every Pokemon should maybe do it with their own style and own flair, depending on where their mouth is, where the water might come from, if they even have a mouth for water to come out of it. So increased animations for the game, definitely a win. Good ideas. Give you up on vote on that one. For Chillimonkey's idea, Chillimonkey went in. The Z grade will be untameable like in X and Y, the same place, the same level. But if the bond between all your Pokemon is strong, you'll be able to catch both regular and shiny Z grade. Shiny grade will have a Z carved in the region, and Ying, yes, and also she had the idea of calling the game. If I make sure I'm this right, after completing the Pokemon Dex. For the cows. All right, let me just read this part again. I'm making sure before I say the wrong thing, because like I read a lot of comments, I might be mixing stuff up.
Zygarde will be obtainable like in XY in the same place with the same level, but if the bond between all of your Pokemon are strong, you will be able to catch
right down here. The name of the game would be Pokemon Yin and Pokemon Yang. I actually absolutely love the name of that. Right now, there's 2 people so far, you and one other person actually named the game, which is so funny. I asked so many people to make a Pokemon MMO, and nobody actually took the time, except for you and almost one other person, to name the game. Come on, guys, it's a big part of the Pokemon. What are you going to call the Pokemon? Pokemon Yin and Yang is an awesome name for a Pokemon. So, I actually do almost think that, man, that should be like, it should be a normal type and a dark type as the new legendaries, just because Yang for, yin and yang, dark and light. So that'd be kind of cool. All right, Chillimonkey, awesome ideas. Okay, you said games should be brought to Androids and PCs. Like I said before, I even want all platforms as possible. And let's continue from there. Hey, BKs, Gyrosaro, we want to battle me? Well, guess what? I will have more battles with you soon. All right, guys, let's read up on the next comment, because this seems like it's gonna be another long video, because I love to talk really fast, and even though I talk fast, I still take forever to make videos. Don't know why.
I would have the MMO in high graphic quality with a tournament. You would have to win the tournament before you move on. There would have to be a lot more Pokemon considering it's an MMO. Also, completing the poke might be part of the actual game, not just an option if you want to do it. That's all I can think of.
Hey, that's all you can think of, but I just absolutely love it. Completing the Pokédex is actually a requirement of the game. See, now that makes it very interesting to do, because then there's going to be that race to be the first person to complete the Pokédex. And of course, that race is always fun in MMOs, like the first person to the highest level, the first person to do this. So, there could be a first leaderboard amongst every other leader. The first person to complete, from first to get all badges, the first person to complete the Pokédex, the first person to have all Pokemon level 100, which would be nuts. That'd be like the nuttest stuff. Like, that would be like the most dedicated. Because that means that you completed all the Pokédex, you've completed all the 8 badges, and you have every single Pokemon at level 100. And I mean down to baby form. So like that'd be its own separate leaderboard type stuff. Because I do think there should be leaderboards in this game, like a regular multiplayer game, and also like how certain MMOs have their own leaderboards and their clan leaderboards and stuff like that too. How would you implement completing the Pokédex as part of the game without making it too hard is going to be a tricky thing. But I definitely agree with it. I'm not going to go into detail with it. I think the idea for that is awesome. MMO is high graphics. I definitely agree with tournaments. Tournaments are awesome ideas as well. But we just got to see how we would actually set up the tournaments in game. It's going to be like, you didn't really mention it was going to be like a Nintendo official tournaments, or these tournaments that players set up between each other? Is the game only tournaments? It would have been nice if you would have wanted a little bit more detail. That's why, guys, I like more details. Sometimes you guys have awesome ideas. Just spread out your ideas a little more, thin them out, and let me know exactly what you mean, and I'll be able to critique them a little better sometimes. All right, one other thing I want to say first, thank you very much for liking and subscribing. You're one of my new subscribers, and I do notice when people new subscribe to the channel, so thank you for taking the time to subscribe, and I hope you like what I do on the Untitled Game Show.
I'd make a MMO not only with tournaments between players, but also with a wild world in which we could catch 3D materialized Pokemons, and where time is important for their growth, so it would be a little more attached to reality.
Right, your idea was one of the most unique I ever heard so far, and when I read all these comments, the time is important for their growth. That one sentence sounds so interesting to me. Like, that's just something I would love to see in the game itself. Time being an important factor other than just getting Mega Stones in a Pokemon game. How would that work? I'm not really sure, but damn would I wish you would have went into more detail on exactly how that worked, because that just tickled my mind. Like, what all the things I could do with that. Now, I don't want to go with my speculations on that, but man, if you want to go ahead and leave some more details on your comment right there, bro, please feel free to. It would be more than appreciated, and maybe I'll go over it in another video, because that is an awesome little idea, and I would love to see more it flushed out. So fly on by, shout out to you, see you all the time on my streams.
If I would make a Pokemon MMO, I would put it on PC, because I think a lot of people will play it on PC, and it would work better that way. Also, I think I would make a lot of money if it's on PC.
Talking about that money thing, definitely. It needs to be on PC first, basically, guys. It needs to be basically a PC game and moves on out from there. Like the Wii U and everything else is just gonna be like, it's a PC game ported out to everything else, and that's basically how it goes. And then they could be like, oh, because of the PC game, we could use the power of the cloud to make up whatever is missing from the consoles or the handhelds or the Android phones or whatever else they might be on. So you didn't really go ahead into the mechanics of what you want from the game so far, aka Austin, but still good comment. Next up, somebody who actually went in on the platforms like I suggested. I would have it on the PS3, PS4, Wii U, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and etc. Let's go ahead and what he said with the voice speaker.
Nintendo needs to expand, and I would have to great quality, but not glitchy. But if Nintendo is gonna expand, it could be $10, $40, but requires no online money, stupid Xbox Live. It would be a huge open world with pretty much all regions combined. That's why we could have it on PS4, and the next gen stuff, you could get any Pokemon, and for the legendaries it would be a boss battle, just like in X, and Y you could request to trade and battle.
Madison, awesome freaking idea. Requesting for battles is a must. Like, it shouldn't be required that when you're going through the area, somebody, you walk past somebody and automatically that person battles you, even if it's an NPC or a player. If you want to just go around the world, then you should just be going around the world and enjoying yourself. I do think the whole going through grass thing, though, should do random Pokemon, and you have to buy repels and stuff. And this is a random thing. I keep going back to what I want. I actually think certain items in the Pokemon universe should be a lot either more expensive or a lot more harder to obtain. Stuff like repels should be a lot harder to obtain in a Pokemon MMO, meaning that making money and more stuff more valuable. So like, you should only be able to access like 2-3 repels at a time unless you actually get them, like, because you have the money, because it keeps the Pokemons away and stuff like that, because you should encourage yourself to want to battle. Other than that, love the fact that you actually listed all the awesome Pokemon platforms it should be. Funny thing, you even put PC in there, but definitely think that. And it says it should be on for $10 to $40, but require no online, meaning no Xbox Live or no PSN Plus to actually play. Pricing is always good. I like hearing what you guys want on pricing. You didn't mention the characterization or anything about mechanics or how the game should look, really, but definitely think you had an awesome idea there, man. But let's move on to the next one as well. Basically, you guys are gonna see that I like everybody's ideas, because remember, guys, I ask for you guys' personal opinions, and it's really wrong for I mean, I could critique your personal opinions, but like I said, what's gonna pick the winner? The winner is basically gonna be picked on who I think like really explain their personal opinions of whys and why I think and overallly like what I liked. So that's basically it, guys, because I'm picking it. So there's only usually could be one winner, but sometimes there's more than one winners. Dun dun dun. We have to wait and see, guys. Gotta wait till later in the video.
You have me added IG and Chris. My idea for a Poke MMO is to have raid bosses such as legendaries and to win Pokemon from raids and to have weekend events such as higher chances of shinies and hidden abilities, and I think the game would come out in packs like WoW.
Awesome idea, man. Um, come out in packs like WoW. I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I do not want to buy expansions in the store or download expansions after the fact. Alright, maybe just, alright, expansions could be like new regions or something like that, but I don't like packs. I think the idea of packs for MMOs are always a bad idea. Make a game that is fully featured and release it. Do not give me a half-ass launch of a Pokemon MMO. What I mean, if the whole entire game regions is going to be there, it should just be there. The Pokemon should all just be there. You shouldn't have to download a patch to enable finding a Pikachu or a Lucario or anything else like that, or Riolu. It should just all be there in the initial game. If they want to add more content after the fact, that would be a fine idea. On my next boy right here, his comment basically said he wanted like similar to the 3DS style, but he wanted more options and more stuff to do after you beat the game. Not many people talk about this, but after you beat the Elite Four in Pokemon generally right now, which would be my Pokemon MMO as well, I don't think there's enough stuff to actually do. Right now, it's all focused on battling human beings, which is fine. Which is perfectly fine. If your thing is battling, that's fine. But this is where I say, not everybody can battle as many matches as me. In fact, most people don't battle as much as me. I have 1,000 hours basically in Pokemon, guys. 1,000 hours of my life has been played Pokemon X and Y. Not many games in my life has ever been played that one game for that long. This game came out in October and I put 1,000 hours in it already. Sheesh. But to the point, guys. What I'm trying to say is, there's many people out there who love Pokemon Me. There's people out there who love the little mini games, and that's where I think a 3DS standalone version of the game, Android standalone version of the game, where you could play little mini games, play little stuff like a shop version of the game, and then transfer money or other items back into the full game, would be an awesome concept, an awesome idea. Of course, they would need to figure a way to avoid cheating, hacking, and stuff like that, or maybe even a way you could go take your Pokemon out with you in a Pokemon Me, feed them, train them, get them to love you. I think the affection system is actually an awesome idea. I actually think that the fact that affection doesn't carry over into multiplayer kind of sucks in a way. So I would actually like to see that. I know I already talked about getting Pokemon boosters before, but I actually think that the fact that affection help your Pokemons increase their critical rate definitely is a good idea. Maybe it shouldn't be a huge rate, maybe like one affection heart is only like 2% and it goes a max up to 10%. 10% boost in critical chance, so it's not an outrageous amount of chance. But I still think that affection is a kind of a cool concept because your Pokemon should love you, and I think that your Pokemon should just like always should be able to hate you for frustration and stuff like that too. And then that should have a negative effect on your critical rates and stuff like that as well. But that's just my personal opinion on stat stuff, which is kind of boring. I would like to make it like an RPG freestyle. That's just plain simple the answer right there, bro. Alright, next up.
I would make the MMO high quality HD and with different tournament facing average in League or Elite Four and champions from different regions. Also it'll have access to some legendary Pokemon events which everyone can access. It would also have destructible environments in the game. Lad.
You said one of the key words we haven't talked about yet, events. How events should work? There should be event Pokemons, but the event Pokemon should have signature moves, like what they do right now. Signature moves, signatures, ribbons and stuff like that to make them a little bit unique, like when you normally see in the Pokemon. So like how they have the event Rayquaza that does have Victorate, which you normally don't see in a Rayquaza and any other Pokemon other than Victini. And that's what kind of could be cool for this Pokemon game. They could do stuff like that, which is only available in the Pokemon MMO, and something that wouldn't be available on the 3DS. Because think about this, guys. If you gave another Pokemon the ability to have Victorate and, well, and that was in the Pokemon 3DS game, that might be kind of a bad thing because of the fact, well, now you could transfer that to every Pokemon games going forward, breeding and stuff like that. But if you limit to a Pokemon MMO where you're never going to be transferring anything to one game to the next, then it might just work perfectly fine. So, yep, events I think is a great idea. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go to one of the most controversial commenters of the day in this video right here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's do it. I can't say your I can't say your name right on YouTube, so I'm just gonna call you Jeremy, bro. Let's get into it, Jeremy.
If I were to make a Pokemon MMO, the graphics would definitely be improved, there would be wide open spaces. In this you can also customize your character, and you can decide whether or not to have a Pokemon follow you. Mega Evolution will still be in play, and it's up to you to battle if a trainer challenges you. This MMO will be a mix of all Pokemon games, meaning the game will be very long. All villains will still be in game. Once you defeated the Elite Four and the champion, you get a plane ticket and move on to the next region, starting from Kanto and ending in Kalos, and each time you leave a region you must leave 5 Pokemon behind, because of their high level. Once you get to the new region a new starter will be given to you. Since it's a mix of all games, every single legendary Pokemon would be in the game. There will be no Wi-Fi distributions, meaning you don't have to go to GameStop and get it there. These legendaries will be very hard to get and catch cause you'll have to go through a maze to get to them. Each maze will be different for everyone, so no checking on YouTube for guides, and shiny rate will increase a whole lot after defeating all champions, and in the end you have to face red. You face red after defeating the champ in each region. In the end red's Pokemon will all be LV100 and their IVs will be maxed. The way battles work is basically the same, just that it'll look more realistic. Pokemon will actually look tired, you have the chance to block if you are quick enough, and when performing moves, Pokemon will actually look like they are doing them, and it will actually look real when they land them. And this time, this game will be playable on all gaming platforms. Well, that's my idea of a Pokemon MMA game.
That's your idea. Guess what? That's a freaking awesome idea. You have put together the most detailed, the most concise information we've had from a subscriber so far about what they want to see from a Pokemon MMO. You have went into so much detail right here, man. You are definitely in the consideration of winning this Pokemon MMO contest for those 6 shiny dark type Pokemon. Let's go overhead and section out some of the information you described in your MMO discussion. Alright, you had a lot of stuff here. One of the first things you mentioned that I definitely wanted for my Pokemon MMO, Mega Evolutions definitely needs to be a factor. So still being played in Mega Evolutions in this Pokemon game is definitely worth it. I also think that Mega Evolution should be considered an event thing. I think certain Pokemons should actually get Megas as events in the game. Maybe every single month, one Pokemon is going to get a Mega Evolution, and then you only could get it for that month in that specific event. And once you got a Mega Stone, if you didn't get one, that item is tradable, and then that item can become highly valuable between the players who did get that Mega Stone. So that could maybe encourage people to buy your game every single month, buy that game if they see that Pokemon there and want get a Mega Stone and be like, oh my god, I gotta try that Mega version of that Pokemon. And then every single month as well, that would be like a new YouTube video for YouTube where it'd be like, oh my god, Nintendo's releasing this new Mega on Pokemon, whatever the Pokemon game is gonna be called. Like that. Alright guys. So Mega Pokemon's awesome. Customization and character, we already talked about that before. Must have for this game. So you went over that, you hit that increase perfectly basically. The graphics would definitely be improved. There would be an open world sorry guys, I can't speak right now. Open space. I'm kind of tired, just came from work, guys. Let me mention that. It'd be open space, open world, basically. So definitely fine with that idea. Basically, kind of the way Pokemon is right now. Pokemon's an open game, guys. I really do think it's open space. Only thing that you really can't do, they block off paths, and you have to figure out a way to get there later on. The Pokemon is going to be a mix of all Pokemon games, meaning the games are very long. Yes, it's an MMO. It needs to be extremely long. I mean, like, it needs to have like 5 years worth of freaking gameplay content to do. Like, I know it's going to be kind of hard because there's Pokemon Sway, but after the game's over, after you beat all the gyms, after you collect all the badges, well, that's where playing with other people is going to really get intensive. And like, you know, like I didn't say for what my things, like I think there's gonna be elements of breeding and being able to own shops and stuff like that, but that's more like my own personal opinion. Let me continue on what you're gonna say. Once you defeat 4 stands, you get a plane ticket to move on to the next region. Awesome freaking idea. I had this idea too. I was like, yo, you beat your areas in your gym, you move on to the next area, and you have to guaranteed. Let's say if you got in that area, you got some Pokemon to level 100. You know, just basically being a bee. I'm gonna say bitch, and basically level everybody up quickly. Now you get to a new region. Oh yeah, I'm level 100. All the Pokemons in this region are level 5 in this section, so let me just kill everything. But when you get to a new region, wouldn't you want it to have the possibility of getting a new starter? Well, it'd be nice if you actually play with those starters. So I think they should actually force you to lose some of your level 100 Pokemon or restrict you in some way so that for the single player, it's kind of like the single player element of the story where you're like, oh, you're not going to be building up that Pokemon as much. But let me say what I'm trying to say with you guys. Yes, you'll be able to use your high level Pokemons, right? For battles and stuff like that with human beings. But when it comes to fighting NPCs, they should have a level cap on the Pokemons allowed in certain gyms. So let's say, yeah, you're not going to be able to go to a new region and use a level 100 Pokemon to fight the level 10 Pokemons you're going to be fighting in the first gym in the second region. And that's something I do think would work out pretty well. So that forces you to catch a lower level Pokemons and actually train them to moves that you want to do. And once again, making it so that you actually want to play with different Pokemons, which I think is one of the mainest points I want to point out with this game. Something I like in Pokemon, and I don't think enough people like this. You should try out every Pokemon. Just get a Pokemon, level it up, and try it out. That's my thing for Pokemon, guys. My overall goal in Pokemon for Pokemon X and Y is to see every single attack possible in the game in 3D. Every attack. I mean, every, down to a confusion attack, down to a special attack, down to the stupidest attack that you would never use in a real battle. Uncompetitively, I want to see that in Pokemon X and Y. All right, let's continue. All right, guys. All the villains will be in the game at once. So the villains, um, well, like I said, I already wanted it to be a new area. So for me, all the same villains, maybe not. But like I said, I would want some of the later areas to be there as well. So if they're them having all the same villains is not a big deal. I'm going over your idea a lot, and you probably take from that what you will. And you have a lot of commenters, and this is what I love to see, guys. A lot of people discusses your comments, your idea, because well, that's good. That means that your comment is actually controversial. People have opinions because your idea is so good. Is it possible to do? Well, yeah, but there are actually people who think your idea is a little too ambitious. Let's go over it right now.
This would be impossible unless it had at least 100 gigabytes. People won't pay hundreds of dollars just to play Pokemon. Great idea. But then Red would be beaten easily because all of your Pokemon would be at level 100. Lad.
Something about, let's start with Red being easily. Guys, I actually do think that Battle Mansion battles are pretty damn hard. So Nintendo has a way to make Pokemon battles pretty hard and difficult as it is. So I don't think that Red should be that easy. And I think that somebody like the Elite Four and Red, if that's gonna be person in the game, I actually do think that they should be able to change Pokemons every few times you battle them. Maybe that every single time they have random Pokemons, which make it a little too hard. But how about they have 3 sets of teams that he could possibly use, and like you have to, every time you battle him, he might be using one of those 3 sets of teams. So that way it kind of mixes it up. Like maybe the first team you fight for him, it might be easy. Maybe the next team, he completely counters your team like that. That's what I'm trying to get at, guys. So the NPCs kind of give you a mix to the gameplay as well, because there will be NPC players and there will be human players, and that whole NPC people, like if Red is going to be an NPC or he's going to be a real player, well, I'm going to get into my own town and how my whole my whole MMO would want to be worked out. But I would like to have the ability to, for every single NPC that you battle, to be actually a human, but you would have to actually have that option, clicked on if you want to be like on basically one of those servers where, like, every player that you meet in the game, the true experience can be actually human players and not just like random NPCs fighting the way they would fight. All right, moving on. So you did not think it's impossible because it'd be 100 gigs and people wouldn't pay that much. Well, I kind of see what you're saying, but it's his idea and he wants it the way he wants it. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Plus it would be a horrible idea for event Pokemon to be in a maze. People use YouTube to find.
The maze thing is not the greatest idea ever, but still. We'll move on to that. But Timothy L. had a counterpoint.
You could easily raise the level cap with a bit of basic programming, and it's essentially the same as Pokemon X and Y in higher definition, and that game was fit onto a tiny card. It could be on PC, and that 100 gigabytes would be stored with ease at server making, and you can enable and disable legendary spawning and distribute them yourself as the owner of a server. You could also sell them in a store to generate revenue to pay for the server. Bam, all problems solved.
Ooh, snap. See, look at that, guys. Already controversy right there. All problems already solved. Timothy L. came in and said, hey, yeah. It's doable. I like his idea. Suck it. No, I'm sorry. My idea is Destroyer. Like I said, good counterpoints. But once again, guys, we're talking about personal opinions right here. So, guys, so yes, it has some flaws, but it definitely is doable. And I think his idea could actually work. And if his version of a Pokemon game came to be, I would be willing to pay. I'm just saying. And like he says, hey, boy, hey, a boy can dream, you know? Definitely you can dream, my dude. Jeremy, you definitely can dream. Master Destroyer wrote, if the Wii U did come with a 100 GB hard drive, it would be $500 console. Well, this is one thing I have to reply to you on Master Destroyer. The Wii U, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, all those consoles could have came with a terabyte or a 500 GB hard drive. Hard drives literally aren't that cheap, guys. For consumers, this is for consumers. You could go to the store, you could go on eBay, you could go on Amazon, you could go to Microsoft and buy a pretty good sized hard drive, 500 GB, for a pretty cheap amount of money. And imagine how much Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo would actually have to pay for those hard drives. They just want to cut their costs as much as possible by cutting down on storage. It's not that they couldn't afford a bigger hard drive, they just wanted to save the cost of actually putting a bigger hard drive and making their platform limited that way. But as you see right now, guys, things might be going the way of PlayStation Now or whatever Xbox does or on Live. So maybe even having a big hard drive is going to be pointless because maybe Nintendo games, if the size thing is going to be a bigger problem for you guys, that's why I said streaming the game would not be that big of an issue if you could keep up a full 1080p at least 30 frames per second or 720p at 60 frames per second. And if it's a turn-based battle style, then it might not be too much of an issue depending on how many people are on the server. But like I said, I'm just giving you guys different solutions to the same problem because you guys know Microsoft has been bragging about how the cloud is so powerful. Everybody's saying the cloud is so powerful, and I already know that on Live and all that stuff actually works. Let's continue what Timothy L had to say
It would
here.
be less than the PS4. The Xbox One has 500 gigs and it's $500 and would be $400 without the Kinect. The MMO wouldn't take up that much space by long shot. It's realistic. Plus, if they were in the right mind, a Pokemon wouldn't even be on console, it would be on a PC that most likely will have a terabyte and will run it perfectly.
See, the thing about it has to be on a PC with a terabyte hard drive. I don't really require it. I still want this MMO to be accessible to kids, young and old. So I think it needs to be on a strong PC, and by a strong PC, I mean a PC with a GTX 650. And now, why I say GTX 650, that card does not cost that much, guys. It's not outrageous to have a PC card that says GTX 650. So that's right now that's a lower end graphics card, and it could still put out some pretty strong 1080p graphics around two screens. Right now I'm using 650 Ti, and it's doing pretty damn good on Titanfall. Explain that at max settings just perfectly fine with my current PC setup. All right, guys. So you don't need to have a GeForce Titan in your system to play it. And I definitely do think that a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, any of those consoles will definitely be able to run the game as well. If they have to run a modified version of the game, fine. But like I said, I'm okay to modifying the game to work on whatever platform needs to work, as long as it is on many as platforms as possible. Because I want something like this to help Nintendo come back to be the dominant player they used to be. The guy that I used to be when every single time a Nintendo Power came out, I read it from front to cover. I love, front to back. I said front to cover, but front to back. Imagine front to cover. That'd be basically this one page, like, Nintendo Power. I'm done. But I spent a lot of time on your comment, Jeremy. Let's move on to somebody else. We'll get back to all that. Yep. Luscious Lobster, shout out to you, bro. I would make it like Ruby, a little bit about, but long tournaments, best player, friend code. Okay, cool stuff, bro. Let's like those up. Be anytime I want to battle you, I will battle you, Jerusalem. Known well enough. What's up, known well enough? I have shout out to you once again because I've given you Pokemons in the past before, aka Mango. But let's go ahead and put your information here.
$60 retail game, free-to-play would call for too many microtransactions and would totally fuck up the in-game economy because people would pretty much just spend the most real money to become the very best. Definitely 3D style graphics, maybe if it was in the budget, some WoW type graphics, but the kind the X and Y have are fine too. You'd customize your character, name, and choose any starter that you want from any gen, including Pikachu and Eevee. Every starter, unlike the other games, can be caught in the wild in any of their evolved forms in the corresponding areas, i.e. Monferno wouldn't be in an ice cave. Gender choice, of course, every region would be put together.
Alright, just want to stop right there because I read your comment before, and if you want to read this comment, feel free to, guys. awesome ideas known well enough. You had some really good points you made out here, guys. I also like the chance that you said that about the gender. I like that you brought up the pricing of the game. That's one thing that Jeremy missed out before. He didn't bring up the pricing or how much a game would cost or anything like that. He didn't bring up really too much on about platforms, so that was a negative right there. But guys, it seems like everybody doesn't tackle everything from every single point of view, and that's why I might make my own separate video detailing everything I think from every point of view of how the game would work, how would it make money, how would it succeed, and what would I want to see from that game. All right. So now with love, you were definitely in consideration for the winner as well because you did a pretty good job on your idea right there. We'll get back to the winner later on. Iba, Sami.
If I was a Pokemon MMO, I would make the game have better graphics and make the game longer, not like the standard 8.
I'm just gonna say it's kind of funny because you said if I was a Pokemon MMO, but I'm not hating on how you spell right or anything like that because I hardly could speak and you guys watch my YouTube videos, which is kind of crazy to me. I don't know why. Hope you guys like the content though. Let's continue, guys. Eva, you did have a good idea. I read a lot of you guys' stuff. So here's the part of the video, guys, and I'm going to speed it up a lot. I don't want this video to be like a 2-hour freaking video. So I know people on YouTube don't like watching long videos sometimes. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But let's go over some of the other awesome ideas we got. And I'm just going to go over some specifics. Guys, if I missed your comment going over it specifically, you can leave a comment. Let me know you want me to go over it specifically, and I'll come back to it.
If I were to make a Pokemon Mo game, I would combine Pokemon X-Y and Soul Silver because it would be cool to have a 3D characters, and the Pokemon are 3D. You can even ride Pokemon on land except no hard feelings. If it's a flying type, you hover up hers, just walk. There's 2 regions. You can be a Liget champion.
Alright, so definitely agree with you about riding Pokemons. The way it would work is basically the same way it works right now, like Go-Go, Rhyhorn, stuff like that should be rideable. Not all Pokemon should be rideable. You shouldn't be able to ride a Charizard because actually a Charizard is a really small Pokemon in real life, guys. If you actually saw Charizard, it'd be kind of weird. So I don't think you should be able to actually see your avatar on a Charizard riding. So that'd be kind of funny, but with them better graphics, it would definitely be cool. So we're just going to go to right now to Timothy L. comment because we see him comment on a bunch of other people. Let's see what his personal opinion was.
Personally, if there were to be a Pokemon, I would want it to be to the style of the Pixelmon mod on Minecraft, but has the same style as regular Pokemon games. So like you can play by yourself on a world that randomly generates, or on a world with gyms. Servers too. You can hop onto a server with some friends and random people and just play through the gyms at your own pace and challenge other trainers along.
See, I also definitely like the whole fact of being able to challenge stuff at your own pace with your own friend. But like I said, I don't want this to be an offline, like make me say like a co-op only game. There needs to be people in your region at all times. So for me, it's not that I don't want it to be just a, hey, you're always fighting NPCs. I wanted to kind of force you to fight other players at specific points. But yes, it's going to first start out with mostly on like the first region in the game. This is where I'm going to say it like this. The first region in the game is going to be the part of the game, for me at least, where, yeah, you basically don't ever have to accept anybody's challenges, but as you move on to other regions, you gain some experience in the game, obviously. Yeah, you shouldn't have to freaking fight people. Like, it's gonna be like less like okay, when you get to certain areas, it's gonna automatically be a person you're fighting, just because that's just how it should be, because it's an MMO. Now, the penalties for losing, can you still progress, stuff like that? Yeah, of course we'll have to work around that because, well, you know, you don't want to be cheated out of somebody who has an RC as a ho-ho and stuff like that, and you're fighting just with a Pikachu and other stuff. But we'll get into all that detail in another video. Love you, commenter man. I see all my awesome videos right there. So 731 Assassin, shout out to you, aka Michael.
I have been subbed to you for a long time now.
Thank you.
And like all our vids and watch them all. I have entered roughly 6 weeks now, and I will keep trying until I win! Exclamation.
Alright,
but no matter what, he'll always watch our vids, love our content, Bicky.
I really
would
hope
simply make an MMO to have the same gameplay and feel stroke mechanics to the RPGs we love, just on the wide scale of an MMO.
731 Assassin, I really hope you watch this video. I really so hope you watch this video. You make one of the biggest mistakes ever for a commenter, man. You would have actually won a few of my Pokemon Win It Wednesdays in the past. I've actually said that in other videos. But you do one thing I cannot do. There's a rule. If you guys read the rules in the description, I need to reply to your comments. He does not have Google Plus enabled, so I could actually send him a message about if he won or anything. So even if you won 7 Assassin, I can't actually send you a message letting you know that you won. So guys, make sure that your Google Plus enabled for your comment system. I know YouTube and this Google Plus shit sucks. I don't like it that much either, but we have to work with what I want to. If I can't reply to your comment, I can't make you win. So sorry about the 7 Assassin. You technically entered, but I technically couldn't make you win because I couldn't even reply to you to tell you that you won in the first place, even if you did win. So let's continue to some other comments. I'm just going to like some of the other videos as well. I read all you guys' comments, guys, so don't be afraid that I didn't read them. I definitely did. I'm just trying to go through this a little faster
I
than I
would
was
like the
before.
MMO to be just like the one I'm showing all the attacks in 3D, how Pokemon avoid the attacks, Pokemon attacking each other, status effects, and how Pokemon hurt themselves. While confused, I always wonder how Pokemon can hurt itself. Hard to believe.
Love that comment. How the heck does a Pokemon hurt itself in the show? Slap. That little line right there is some of the stuff that shorter comments get. This is why a lot of times when you guys see my Pokemon Win It Wednesday and I pick somebody when they only write like 2 sentences, if your 2 sentences bring out something new that somebody's never thought about, you're definitely one of the ideas that I thought was inconsistent. Like putting the game in a way that it would be actually fully 3D and fully like the game anime. And then when you think about stuff like slap, counters, stuff like that, how that all that stuff would actually look like, it's quite amazing just to see how that would work. Like I don't know. I personally don't remember seeing confusion in the show. If it was, sorry, I made a mistake. And let's go to the next crazy long comment from Nico. Nico is actually one of my past winners of Win It Wednesday, if I remember correctly. Now, Nico's idea was good. I've read all this. Yes, for Nico. Nico, just let you know, I read this. Other YouTubers with channels, they wouldn't have read this. In the time I've been doing this video, I could have made like 10 other YouTube videos that were like 5 minutes long. But I read it all. And I gotta say, first of all, I love that you mentioned all the freaking platforms, like I said, man. The more platforms this is available on, the better. Whatever way they get it on that platform, if it's through streaming, through a smaller version, so if it's like it's just a little extra app, whatever, get it on there. You wanted it to be 4K resolution, that is beastie. I don't even know if I could be saying like I'm ambition, but damn, you dreaming right now, Nico. Nico, 4K? Shit, you're thinking ahead. But you're thinking ahead, which is kind of a good thing because then you know the game will still be basically be able to scale down to smaller resolutions because if it's 4K to start off on the PC, well then it's going to be good for going forward because it's kind of future proof for the graphics wise because if it's going to be 4K graphics, holy shit. Let's go about what you would sell the game for. Let's just copy and let you guys hear this part of it.
I would sell this game worldwide, and at the exact same time it will go out, and I would sell the game for $15 so that everyone that can pay, cause you know, can play. I think I would still sell a lot of copies, and I think I would get a ton of money considering on how many customers would buy it.
100% agree with the $15. I actually do think that's a good price. Just I say 100% agree, but I have my own pricing. I actually just agree with you that that is a good price that people could pay for the game off the bat and then go from there if it's gonna be free to play or it's gonna be $15 a month. It's just if you make the game free to play, I mean free doesn't mean that people are gonna download it. Like I think by putting a price on something that you're actually buying it, well, it can't be so cheap that it means that it's worthless, and it can't be so high that nobody's gonna want to buy it like $100. But my part, let me just go into it. My personal, what I would want the game to cost is outrageous compared to what most people think. But like guys, I think in a business mindset, like I'm thinking if I was a company, I would want to make money and be able to support it with content in the long run. I would want the game to be actually a full $60 game, retail box game, whatever platforms it's coming out on. You pay for the game, and then after the game's out, you either could you actually have to pay the monthly to play the game. So I know that's kind of sucky and everything like that, not with everything on free to play. But the game that I envision is going to be good and actually worth it. You paying a monthly dollars, like $5 a month. That's actually like a one out of the game. $5 a month is actually Netflix price. So you know you pay for your first $60. Your first $60 includes your first month, and then every month after that is just $5 to continue playing the game. But there should be enough content in the game that it's really worth it. Like I mean, I've gotten over 1,000 hours just from the Pokemon game that I'm playing. For this game, you're gonna get well over thousands of hours of gameplay every single day, guys. So I'm not envisioning anybody being in this game and unlocking having every single Pokemon at a level 100 by the first month, unless they have people just up playing the game 24/7. It's more than one person. It wouldn't be one person doing this because it should be pretty hard. Because at the same time, guys, remember, you by yourself is not going to be able to catch all the Pokemons because you're going to, just like everything else, you're going to have to be able to trade. Because think about how many people actually go out and actually catch all the Pokemons themselves, and then there's going to be event type Pokemons like Arceus and stuff like that to complete your Pokedex. Alright, continuing with what you actually had to say. Let me just go into some other cool little points to start off right. I'm trying to look for where it starts right there. Bam.
You will choose where you want to start, and Mom will help you on a journey too by teaching you strategies and by battling you and sending you items you need. You will be able to play on a Wii U and watch TV. And you will be able to get an iPhone and any console you wish. Since you will be able to catch every Pokemon in this game, you will be able to finish the Pokédex much easier. And if you finish it, you will get one of every item and variant TM stroke HM.
So the reason I highlighted this part, one of every TM Pokemon berries and everything. I don't think that's a good reward. I think you should still have to work to get some items, TMs, and berries and stuff like that. If you complete the Pokedex, is an awesome thing. Completing the Pokedex should just be a reward upon itself. You got every Pokemon. If you still want items and stuff, it should make it still a little hard to hunt for items, which is another thing that I think should be implemented in the game is item hunting. So just like how Pokemons are rare, I think items should be hard to obtain for certain items, not all items. And by hard to obtain, I don't mean like, oh, you're gonna have to work really hard to get a potion or something like that. But like an expert belt, like maybe you have to go to a place where let me say it like this. You go to a town where there's mostly fighting type trainers are there, and you have to go there and go like how you battle gym. Then you go to a dojo and you have to actually fight everybody in that dojo to actually fight the gym, the dojo leader to get the item that would be the expert belt. Somebody else who's an expert could trade you an expert belt if they have it, of course, or you could buy an expert belt from another player. But if you want to get your own expert belt, that's the way you get it. You can't just go to expert belt by going to the it'd be kind of the same way you do it right now, guys, almost, because it's a way to get an expert belt, and currently you have to get those battle points and like that, but I don't want it to be in one place and one simple like that. So this is way, like, right now, if you're playing Pokemon X and Y, this point with the game being out so long, everybody who wants a game, wants the items, have the items they personally want, but with this way, it would make it so that not every single high level player is always beating the lower level players because they have items, because they just started out and they don't have items yet because it's so hard to get certain items. So if you want items, you're really gonna have to either work with people, work with other people, like go trade items, like let me lose an item for these battles, for these ranked battles or the stadium battles, because of course there's gonna be stadiums in the game too, and the stadium events are basically kind of like tournaments. So that's what I mean by stadiums, where you actually could participate and you could watch in the tournaments, and you can place bets, stuff like that. Do you guys remember the old Pokemon games that there was a casino? And here it goes again, guys. I'm gonna interrupt what I'm saying in the middle because I'm just realized I'm keep going on over my Pokemon personal ideas instead of going over what you guys said. So back to what you said, bro. Yes, your idea is awesome. Let's then go ahead to one last thing that you mentioned, Nico, and wrap it up for there.
There will be a new type, Sonic Sound. It will be super effective against Poison, Dragon, Fire, and Psychic Ice, weak against Ground Rock, Water, and Ghost. I already liked the vid, and I'm already subbed. I have been subbed since last year, and I have watched and liked every vid you have made.
I begin those comments really frequently. I'm like, really thank you to those guys who like watch everything I make. I make such unique content in the same as every video I upload every day could be a different game, different platform, different anything. It could not even be about gaming. It could be about cosplay like I did last week. So thank you for those guys who watch everything I make. That means that I am making at least somewhat decent content for you guys to continually watch. Sonic Sound type is actually a sound cool type in as well. I actually do like the sound of that, guys. It could be like more musical type Pokemon, like Melota. She does kind of a music type attack. There's already attacks that use sound like hyper voiced out there, so I would definitely play on that a little bit more. You could even add certain Pokemons that already could actually get that as a secondary type or another additional type. There is the lion Pokemon right now. I think it's Pyroar. Sorry if I can't remember that Pokemon's name correctly, but you guys already know about Pokemon names. It could become a maybe you could get like a Mega that changes its type into a sound fire type, which would be kind of cool, and then it gains access to a different type, like it does like it changes all normal type attacks into sound type attacks and does more damage or something like that as this ability, because they could use hyper voice and stuff like that. Hyper voice becomes even a more strong attack, or like echo voice becomes even more a stronger attack, because echo voice is another sound type attack. Or we have other sound type like relic song or any type of singing type Pokemon could become even stronger than it was, like Jigglypuff and so on and so forth. So I actually do think that Sonic, or maybe just call it sound type, would be an interesting type of Pokemon, because even for the fact that there is like bats in the game, what those echolocation, stuff like that, sound waves. I just like that. I actually should have. I actually would just like to see what attacks, what type of new attacks. Like I've asked this before, if a new type of Pokemon you create. Sound is one of the ones people didn't mention before when I asked about that. I'd love to see some new type of ideas for sound types attacks, like would actually just use by voice and I mean, and what would you do against a Pokemon that had the ability that makes it so that it can't get affected by sound attacks? I forgot what that ability was called. It was something like what basically muted it so you couldn't hear the sound, but I forgot what that was called, guys. I know there is one, but alright. Of course, there would be a sound type attack that causes confusion. So, Nicholas Rules, once again, shout out to you. You did a great job right there on picking your move. So, right now, you are definitely in the running for winning this week's Win It Wednesday. Alright, guys. Alright. Let's continue going over a few more. Like I said, guys, I have read everybody's comments, so please don't
What
worry.
MMO is lol, but I think you mean how would I make the game. Honestly, I would make it 100% 3D for the 3DS. And instead of having to run around in grass for the Pokemon, you would actually have to go up to the Pokemon and talk to them as you do for legendary Pokemon. This would help with shiny hunting. Also, all your Pokemon will be around you like in Soul Silver, but all of them, not just the one. And your
Alright, like your idea, but only thing I gotta say is all your Pokemons being around you, I don't think that's a really cool idea, because then that kind of really makes the Pokemons being a Pokeballs kind of a little weird. So I just think one Pokemon being able to follow you is a good idea. A few other people did mention this in their comments that I didn't actually read on the video, but I did read it. So if you guys mentioned having your Pokemon follow you, don't think I didn't read it. I actually did read it, guys. Like I always say. So I do know some of you guys mentioned that being able to have your Pokemon follow you is an awesome idea. At least one Pokemon, just having a smaller version of it. Um, if you don't understand what MMO is, that's fine. You're not the only person who didn't understand what MMO. I can understand that a lot of viewers on my videos sometimes are little kids and they may not have never ever played MMO. If you want MMO to start on with, guys, start with MMO is massive multiplayer online RPG. Let me say this. MMORPG. Let's do it like that. Massive multiplayer RPG games. This is make it simple. That's why I should have wrote instead of just MMO, because I just figured everybody knew in general what MMO is. Like and sub. I read your comment before, guy. Man, I actually do know what your I actually read through this. You were trying to explain what it was. I know that a few people already made stuff like this, and I actually had some other people go over basically what's it called. Well, maybe not show IG and stuff because it really doesn't matter. Show me actually other links to pictures of what they actually wanted as well. Let me just keep going, guys. I'm going to try to keep going a little faster right here. I'm just going to go to someone's already hit. Like I said, guys, shout out to some of you guys that left comments. A lot of you guys are already upvoted because, like I said, this is the second time I've done this video already. All right, shout out to Matilda. Matilda Pokemon is April 17th when she wrote this comment, and it was her birthday. So, yep, shout out to you. Happy birthday back then. What did you have to say about your favorite Pokemon?
First off, I would make it on the PlayStation's stroke Xbox. I would
Like
make
that
the
idea.
in-game as a normal and cool basic storyline with protagonists and antagonists. But it will be harder to battle and catch Pokemon, and making it like it is in the anime, where it's harder to level up your Pokemon. I would make it in full 3D cause then you feel like you are really in the Pokemon universe. In the games I would make little mini-games like when you use HMS you would steer, when you use FLY, and when you use Fly have Sky Battles, and when you use Can I Go Surf you would have to race other.
Alright, I just want to mention one thing where you mentioned when you use Fly and use Sky Battles. I would love to see actually how a Sky Battle would work in an MMO, and if it's like a full realistic MMO. Because if you think about it, guys, when you actually had those battles where you only use flying type Pokemons, how the heck is that working? Like, guys, I would love to see that stuff actually in a full out game of Pokemon in 3D. So yeah, that would be kind of cool. Your idea of putting it on the Xbox and the PlayStation, definitely like that. Also include the PC, full 3D, stuff like that. Definitely cool idea as well. Matilda, awesome idea. Definitely in the running for winning. Also, like I said, guys, other people, I read all your ideas too. I'm sorry I'm just not mentioning it right now. I'm just going to the ones that I 100% know. I remember exactly what they said, and I kind of already know who won. I do,
I would have the
or who
MMO on PC
wants,
in the
or how
third
many
person
people
view,
won.
and many cities and different countries from Pokemon, so you can take planes and boat to other places, or ride the flying Pokemon's stroke surfing, and in the towns can write to each other in open chat, or talk, but you hear not talking about one is longer 20 meters away. I would have gyms, and tried to get players to be the gym leaders, and made
Stop there. First person to actually talk about open chat. So you're one of the 3 people that probably actually played an MMO or played an MMO recently. So remember the open chat where you actually hear everybody talking. I've actually had my own ideas on open chat, and I actually don't think that should be implemented. There shouldn't be an open chat system where you just see 1,000 people writing random crap constantly. I think the chatting should be more on a personal level or a few people in a certain area, and it should definitely be more for proximity, just like there is on X or Y right now. When you're near to somebody, you're seeing what they're saying. You shouldn't have to be hearing somebody who's inside of a house. You shouldn't have to hear if you're outside the door of the Pokemon Center. Why the hell are you hearing somebody who's inside the door, inside the Pokemon Center with the door closed? I mean, unless it's only a thin little wall, you shouldn't hear them. That's what I'm just saying, stuff like that, guys. So, but if you see somebody close enough, I think you definitely should be able to see what they're able to say, stuff like that, guys. And for like the communications between a few players from far distance, I definitely do think it should work kind of similar to how they have the Hollow system in the game. Basically, change that up to actually where you can use person-to-person communication, guys. Should it support stuff like voice chat? For me, I always want voice chat in games, guys, because that's just me, guys. Like, and I use Skype a lot, but I always want voice chat in games between friends, between regions. So the way voice chat would work, you would need to have each other added on a friend list. Have you guys ever played the MMO Maple Story, which is an MMO I used to play like 7 years ago, a lot, and I really did enjoy that MMO. You had a little friend list, and then you'd be able to chat directly to that friend in a private chat, or have a guild chat like that. And if you want to use that specific situation for voice chat and workout. Obviously, guys, I didn't mention this before, but like I said, when I go over my stuff too, you're gonna be able to hear about, like, I definitely do think they should be able to team up with other people for co-op battles, for double battles, for triple battles. You know, if they're gonna have there's gonna be new battle types of like a triple battle where literally every Pokemon in the triple battle is controlled by another player. So if you were using voice chat, that would actually make your whole team go up, and that's why you have teams going up in ranking and stuff like that. But Joba, awesome idea. Thank you for supporting my channel a lot. I definitely know you're one of my good supporters as well. Joe Riddler, also another commenter. See you a lot around the community as well. Guys, you guys are all great in the community. Let me just read your comment again. It's not that I didn't read it before. I just kind of got what you said, and I don't want to go over it if I forgot what you said.
I would make a game that let the player make the Pokemon world, so there would be a path that shows you different gym leaders that you could pick which ones you would battle against, but the Pokemon the gym leaders have and the one on the routes would be chosen, but they could choose what shape the region would be, and where the Pokemon centers are, and what the towns look like, and also what region or regions you will play in.
See, that is an interesting little. You choose what the game basically looks like, in a sense. Wow, that's kind of more freedom than I ever imagined. Hey, I love the idea, man. More details would have been absolutely excellent. Love the idea, Ben. Love the idea, Ben. Definitely keep entering my contests with ideas like that. I definitely will be supporting you out. All right. Make all the Pokemon shiny. For the win. Well, the shiny version of all Pokemons are not all that great. I'm just saying personally, guys. Some Pokemons, well, shout out to Gerosaro too, great supporter of the channel as well. Some Pokemon shiny look crap, like Dragonite. I was saying this last time I made the video too. Dragonite is not a cool shiny Pokemon. Greninja is a cool shiny Pokemon. So having the options, definitely good. There shouldn't be a third color or nothing like that. I think we have two enough. I already stated that I don't want to see Pokemon dressed up or anything like that. But let's continue to some of the other awesome comments.
I wouldn't make it free to play, but not monthly subscription either. I would make it like any old game, pay some of money then enjoy the rest with no fees. A first person view just wouldn't feel normal, so third person would be best in my opinion. Contrary to popular opinion, I would want the region you explore to be a NEW region, and with no access to previous. That would be too much work.
All right, all right. You see, this is why I hit up certain people's opinions right here. He said exactly what I said. Like so I said, he knew it too. It's not the popular opinion. Having the same old regions is kind of a hassle. So if they're going to be added later on, I do think it'd be fine if they added expansions or a DLC or something like that, whatever you want to call it for the Pokemon MMO, or unlocks you could go to later on, special events. But not having it completely not accessible, I don't like that idea. But off the bat, it should definitely be a completely new region. I don't completely agree with it. It can't be free to play and it can't be a monthly subscription. That's fine as well. If it's gonna be a $60 game and you don't pay ever again, it's gonna be tricky because it would have to have some type of microtransaction if you're gonna want this game to last for a long time. I think there was an RPG called something Hellgate or something like that. I'm sorry for some London Hell. Ah man, what was it called? MMO with that. It was an MMO. You paid $60. If somebody knows in the comment section, please leave a comment. You paid $60 and you never paid again for the game. You just had your MMO and you just played the MMO. It was something with Hell. I think it was Hellgate. Blah. And I'm just not remembering at the moment. And I definitely agree with you in that. But like, thinking about the business sense, there would still need to be some hacks or some stupid things you need to buy for your character to make people encourage people to actually want to get this stuff. Kind of like how, like I said, I keep bringing up Maple Story just because that was one of the longest running RPGs I played. I have played others. I don't currently play any RPGs right now. And if anybody does have some RPGs they want to recommend me playing, I'm actually okay checking out obscure RPGs. I'm one of those people who will just try a game. If somebody recommends it to me and it's actually decent, I will actually try it out and play with you. So if you play an RPG game and you think that RPG game is excellent, send me a trailer of it. Let me know that you like playing it, and I might be able to join you in a game. Maybe even make a video. I can record it and stuff, guys. You can show me some of the ropes of the early game. Games do not recommend to me. WoW. I am not going to try WoW again. I had a friend in college play WoW. Nothing wrong with WoW. It's just I'm not a big fan. Games I played in the past was some Silk Road. I played not Swords Online. Sorry guys. Cabal Online. I really did enjoy those two games. And so on and so forth. But if you play MMO right now and you need somebody to play with and you think the game is worth playing, leave me a comment. Let me know what the game is, or leave me a trailer and I'll go check that out and I'll let you know if I'm willing to play with you. Just like that. Maybe we'll make a game in some of playing some MMOs, guys. Alright, let's look at this one. I read your comment before, dude. Awesome idea, and I've seen this before too as well. This is a really awesome and detailed way of putting Pokemons. Only thing I thought about this, man, if you actually saw the Pokemons this way everywhere in the game, it would be crazy if you just saw like a bunch of Blastoises and a bunch of like Charizards, or well, not Blastoises. It would be like Charmanders and smaller versions walking around. But still, like the idea if that's what they pop up with when they're in the grass, and the whole that's like the Unreal Engine right there. It'll be kind of cool, guys. Definitely kind of cool. So I did read your idea before I missed the bar. So yeah. All right. Amy Lee. Amy Lee. Shout out to Amy Lee. She's one of my great subscribers who always show up to a lot of my streams.
I wouldn't Pokemon MMO with first person, because I would think it would be cool and have it be 3D. And since it's in first person, it's like, or it should feel like you're in the world of Pokemon, and you don't need to use surf, you can use swim. If I could have control over Game Freak, I would make a new Pokemon MMO on Wii and Wii U. The game would be cross-platform, the player would have the same 3D view as in X and Y, but the graphics would be better. I would have it as an open-world RPG. There would be a storyline, but you can follow it at your own pace. While exploring new areas, there would be an arena where the tournament would be held. The game would be held in real time. Depending on who was in your team, you would be put in different classes, and on every Sunday everybody who entered the tournament would be ranked compared to everyone else in their class, e.g. top 10% or top 20% according to number of points collected in the tournament. 1 win equals 5 points and 1 loss equals 3 points. People would be able to view these battles. The person who finishes first out of the highest class would win a shiny legendary, but the person who finishes first by the end of the year would win a shiny Mew with perfect Roman 4, which would be impossible to get any other way. The world would include every Pokemon from every game and add some new ones, and it would also include region and add an exclusive to the MMO region. This would allow people to...
Alright. I like your idea again. Another person who really was concise about what they wanted. Decent idea. You were one of the other people that definitely kind of was in the running. But we're gonna move on to some other people. So I'll definitely please enter some more of my other contests as well, because you seem to know what you are talking about. Now we're gonna come into the freaking school of a paragraph right here, just like Nico Bako, aka Taboo Forgiver, definitely went a little ham. Look how long this comment is. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Did I read it? Yes, I did. I read it all. I read it all. Let's go into some of the stuff he wanted to say.
Tough question, as there's many different ways. But I would
Yes, it
have to
is.
say I would be sold at a MMO that would involve all regions of the Pokemon generations and be for all consoles. Many people in the gaming community miss out on great games because they don't have a console that has the ability to handle large games.
Boom. That basically sums up a lot of what Bako had to say. The game needs to be on many different consoles. All consoles, not many. All consoles. Because, yes, many people have different consoles and they need to be able to access a game from whatever console they want to play. Like I said, I want it to be one of those games that's be available to everybody, as many people as possible. I want this game to be on freaking on live. Why not? Why not, Nintendo? Why not? That's what I'm trying to say. It needs to be on every obscure platform possible. Get it to work. Throw this shit on Amazon cloud servers. Get it staying up. Don't let it crash or something. Pay Amazon a bunch of money to have your servers run great. Amazon cloud servers right now runs Netflix. So just let you guys know, if you guys are worried about, oh no, they're gonna get crashed when 1 billion people hits it. You know, zillion people are watching streaming video from Netflix all the time, and it hardly ever crashes. And when MMOs do come out, and when multiplayer games do come out, it is gonna be crashed out heavily. That's why it's gonna need to be different servers, different rooms. Because oh my god, I couldn't imagine the amount of people gonna want to play a Pokemon MMO on the first day, especially if you make it a free-to-play MMO, it's going to be kind of crazy because people are going to want to play. That's why I'm trying to say, gotta probably put a price on that bitch. I want to get to this part where he says about how to get to other regions. Bako, I definitely read all this stuff. Like I said, I can tell you already, you're definitely in the run-ins.
Each region will have their own quest line, which will lead to the other regions, which will allow the players access to all the Pokemon. But there will be area, of course, as all the previous gens there will be inaccessible till you have specific moves to get access. In some of these area you will find legendary pokes besides from the raid boss. All player will get access to one legendary of each kind in their travels, and have access to monopolize their collections. Your Pokemon storage unit will hold 250 Pokemon in the beginning, and can be increased from buying PC storage upgrades in the Pokemarts. A new feature added to the game will be Grand Safari. Within Grand Safari you have 20 different areas to explore for event-only Pokemon, and 50 more areas for all other generation Pokemon. Your shiny chance is 1/8258. You get a limited time to explore Grand Safari to the amount you pay to enter.
Your shiny chance, I hate it. I'm straight up telling you, Bako. Hell no, that's high. I don't want to take so long to get a shiny. Can't it just be 1 in 1,000, please? No, but let's get to it. I like the idea for bigger shiny air. Shiny air. Bigger safaris where you get a lot more event stuff and all the Pokemons in a sense. So it's gonna be kind of cool right there. Just the way it implemented what Pokemon show up in there. I kind of would be kind of cool if you could work similar to the way the friend codes is. If you have certain people as friends, then you could kind of lock their friend code area, friend zone area. So it's kind of like not just yours; it'd be different ones. But awesome idea, Bako. Like I said, good stuff. And now let's get to the last of the comments.
I love watching vids with people with shiny Pokemon and Legends : D. I want them so much. Why on that?
Thank you so much for watching my videos. I always have shiny Pokemons and legendaries and like to use them. Even though technically my team is not really full of legendaries. My best team is legendaries, but currently my team that I'm using for the tournament is an awesome freaking team that doesn't even need legendaries. Just curious, have the announcers been for this? Well, it's going up right now. Let's write it right now. It's being uploaded as we speak. It's being uploaded now. Well, I guess after this video is over, it'll be uploaded. Make a thumbnail, go in Photoshop, do all that good stuff, edit this video. You guys don't know how much work I put in. Come on, guys, help me get to right there. It says 4K subscribers. You guys hook it up, help me get to 5K subscribers. Hit that share button. You guys ever hit that share button? You guys know that really helps. either Facebook, Twitter. All that stuff helps, guys. If you can't donate, you can't. If you can't donate, you don't got a dollar. You guys hit share. You guys got a Facebook. You guys maybe got a Twitter. You might maybe use Reddit. You might use something. Hook it up. Go share it on Kick. If you have Kick, link it on Kick. Whoever you're talking to, whatever guy, girl, link it on Kick. Whatever you use, hook my videos up there. They might like Pokemon too. So let's get to the big question of the day. Who the heck won? Of all these awesome comments, who won the contest? Isn't that the $1 million question everybody wants? And what do I think of a Pokemon MMO? Should I go over that first, or should I announce the winner? The winner, chicken dinner. So guys, how do I pick a winner with so many excellent comments, and when the opinion, my comment to you guys is your personal opinion? Because like I said, guys, I want you guys to be your own personal opinion. I'm not trying to have you guys tell me what I want, because I obviously know what I want from a Pokemon MMO, and I've already stated that kinda. I haven't went into too much detail. And when people write freaking scrolls of information, which I love, because like, details is great, whatever. How do I pick between you guys? Well, for me, there still needs to be at least one winner. And that one winner is... Bam! The man with the highlighted name. It is Jeremy. Jeremy, you're the first time you're winning my Win It Wednesday contest. And I think it's one of the first time you've actually entered it. I absolutely love the fact that you've actually gotten so many people to actually reply to your comments, guys. And I actually love that you went into so much details. You missed out stuff like platform pricing. But for the fact of the matter, your comment was very precise to what you wanted. And you even said it. Hey, a boy can dream, you know. And that's what I wanted, guys. I wanted you guys to really express what you really wanted. And on top of that, also the business aspect of it too. But just because I think that's what you want. And if you were actually running Nintendo, that's all I was trying to say in the video too. Because you have to run Nintendo, how are you making the money of it? But you really wanted details. I really respect that, man. Jeremy, you're actually getting all 6 shiny Pokemons. Everybody else, guys, do not fret. I actually do think that there should be runners up. This is where it gets surprising. I think there's so many people did such good jobs that other people need to get Pokemons as well. And I just gotta do it. Like, I just have to. So, here we go. Who else is getting Pokemons? Bam! Nicholas. How the heck couldn't I give Nicholas a Pokemon? I mean, he didn't know how to use paragraphs or anything, you know. He could have went probably press enter right here, guy, to like split everything up. You know what? Actually, you do know how to use paragraphs. You press enter here, Nicholas. Come on, you could, you know, edit a little bit, just maybe a tidbit. But anyways, Nicholas, I read it anyways. I'm not a writing specialist, so I shouldn't be critiquing you much. So Nicholas, you're not the grand prize winner, but I will be hooking up with a shiny, awesome dark type Pokemon. I guarantee it will be something awesome. I'm not gonna tell you guys on the video. You guys have to wait till you trade it. So I will be adding you as well, Nicholas, to my friend list. So you have one, and I will be messaging you real soon to let you know that you have one. All right, Nicholas. So definitely watch that out. And what I'm actually gonna do, right? I'm gonna kind of be a kind of asshole. This is where it's gonna be for everybody who gets the runner-up. I'm not gonna straight out tell you guys to win. I'm gonna tell you guys you should go watch this. You should go watch my video, this video, and hopefully if you watch it to the end, you'll realize that you actually got the runner-up prize. This was way that I'm not gonna bother waste time adding you, and you guys don't actually want the prize. So if you want the prize, you'll actually watch the video to the end. For my first dude who actually won it, I'll definitely message you, add you like I always do for every single winner. I'll win it Wednesday, and I'll give you a time limit to actually redeem your prize. So if he doesn't pick up his prize right away, and I'm gonna give him a week this time because I took a little long for this contest. Somebody else to win. We also have another runner-up as well because, well, how couldn't I, man? You know, first, second, third, but like I said, another player who's about to get another shiny Pokemon. Another person, Tabu Figueroa, Bako, another one with a lot of extra details and sorry, oops. Oh, excuse me. Been sitting here all this time, I haven't eaten anything. My belly's saying, get the hell up and go eat some food. Stop talking on YouTube about Pokemon. I'm gonna be so funny. I've made this really long video, guys, and there's gonna be like 10 people that watch this video. If this video gets over 200 views, I will be surprised. I'm just saying. Hook me up with a share, guys. Alright. And because, well, why the hell not? one person more, because I picked 4 people to win this. And you know it's usually first, second, third, but what the hell, there's going to be a fourth as well. And the fourth player getting a shiny dark type Pokemon is, bam, Matilda A. Matilda, 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 Matilda. Shout out to Matilda, a great person in the community, and she will be getting a shiny Pokemon. Happy birthday to you as well, Matilda. And I definitely did like your comment right here, guys. About the 12 gym, about everything else. So, guys, there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was extremely long. I didn't put any background music because I want you guys to be able to hear what I was saying. And shout out to you guys. I hope you guys liked the video. Let me know if you guys want me to do this type of stuff every single week for Win It Wednesday. You guys respect the fact that I actually go ahead and read the comments. Let me know, guys, because I could be one of those guys that just use random.org. But isn't that kind of boring, guys? If I just go to random.org and be like, randomly, Luscious Lobster wins a contest. Wait, Luscious Lobster didn't even follow the rules. How did he win the contest? By me having to read the content, read everybody's comment, I actually have to make sure they didn't follow the rules. So, yep, there you go, guys. Thank you once again, Jeremy, for leaving this awesome comment right here, bro. And I will be adding you guys. If you guys want to help support the channel, there's a few ways to do that. I wasn't going to talk about this before I left, but I feel like I'm here already, guys. I made an hour-long video, and if you really like the content I do, if you really like the time that I spend, if you really like the fact that I'm willing to do this stuff for you guys, could you guys at least go into the link and check this out right there, guys? Come on, guys, hook me up. If you click on Amazon, my Amazon links I have in a channel. If you buy absolutely anything from Amazon, anything, Pokemon, shoes, socks, it doesn't freaking matter. You could actually go ahead and support the channel while doing that, guys. Anything. If you don't want to use Amazon, go over PayPal. Donate on PayPal. If you don't want to do that, guys, I have my Patreon page right here, guys. Just check all that information out in my descriptions of my videos, guys. Any of those will be a great way to support it. In the video I put out, go ahead and check out Patreon. All that stuff is awesome ways to support the Untitled Game Show. Thank you guys for watching. I will be back with more real soon. Real soon. Let's just see if there's any more comments before I left, guys. Alright, guys. So, here we go. Peace out.